Ah, results. The ironic thing about them is that the harder you push, the more they slip through your fingers. Try to crush smoke, and it vanishes quicker the same way ambition evaporates when clutched too tightly. You've felt it, haven't you? That endless grind. The desperation to make things happen on your timeline, under your terms. But the world doesn't bend to force, it bends to timing, to patience, to those who understand how to flow with the current rather than trying to seize control. Force is a weak illusion dressed up as strength, the delusion of power that exists only in a frantic grip. Try to twist the universe to your will, and it laughs. It rewards those who flow, not those who struggle. The more you push, the more you get pulled backward, as if you're sinking in quicksand. Every forced outcome builds resistance, wrapping tighter around you like a noose, suffocating your path forward. Results arrive in the quiet, in those elusive, unplanned moments when your mind isn't consumed by obsession. When you stop chasing, answers appear. It's a slow dance, a subtle rhythm that can't be rushed. Push too hard and you disturb it. But if you learn to flow, to surrender your need to control every outcome, life unfolds its secrets beneath your feet. Many miss this, believing success is something you wrestle into submission. But force is simply the denial of reality. You can't force a flower to bloom faster or drag the sun up before dawn. The more you force, the more you break, leaving only fragments of what could have been whole, if allowed to grow in its own time. True power lies not in aggression, but in alignment. When your actions, thoughts, and energy align with your path, results follow naturally, no force necessary. This is strength, not the muscle-driven strength, but the calm, devastating power of knowing when to act and when to wait. Those who master patience become untouchable, understanding that the world rewards those who can wait. Force is for the impatient, those who fear the silence of waiting. But the patient ones, they get everything, not because they demanded it, but because they learned how to receive it. It's not surrender, it's understanding the rhythm of life. Force disrupts, it creates chaos, but moving in rhythm with life taps into something far greater than brute strength. This is flow, the synchronicity where everything aligns, where the world conspires in your favor. Those obsessed with control will never grasp it. Flow is elusive, something only achieved by losing yourself completely in what you're doing. It's like jazz, improvised and alive, each moment flowing seamlessly into the next. No ego, no interference. You can't force jazz, you let it happen, trusting that the melody will find its way. Forcing outcomes kills flow. It drags you out of that rare state of being where action becomes effortless, where each move feels inevitable and right. When you're focused solely on the finish line, you miss the beauty of the journey, the artistry unfolding all around. Those in flow are unaffected by the need for results, because they're consumed by the process itself. It's an immersion so deep that time vanishes, and nothing exists outside the moment. Flow happens when you let go of the need to control and embrace each step as its own reward. When you love the grind, the repetition, the small steps that build something greater, the finish line stops being an obsession and becomes inevitable. Results become a byproduct of the process, an afterthought to the journey. The weak obsess over forcing, over breaking down barriers. But those who understand the law of minimal effort know that real power lies in precision, placing the right effort at the right moment, allowing everything else to fall into place. To love the process is to realize that every moment is part of a bigger picture. The universe rewards those who can endure without rushing, who understand that there's artistry in each step. Rushing smears the masterpiece, it destroys the delicate balance that would bring life to your vision. Grinding is essential, yes, but not to the point of breaking. When you sprint through a marathon, you lose your way, you burn out, bitter that the world didn't bend to your will. But it's not about demands, it's about alignment. When you force, you disrupt the flow of the process. Every action must be deliberate, focused, intentional, and the rest will fall into place. The universe rewards patience, those who can immerse themselves in the task without a desperate need for immediate results. It's the art of precision over pressure, an immersion in the process itself. Forcing results robs you of the beauty of flow and harmony, but the patient find power in the small steps. Stop fighting. Stop clawing at life in desperation. When you let the process unfold, each chapter of the story writes itself. Results become inevitable, not because you crush them into submission, but because you allowed the flow to carry you. In the end, it's about surrender not of effort, but of control. To hit that elusive state of flow, that place where the noise fades and everything falls into place, you must let go. Stop trying to push the river, let it carry you. Flow is the ultimate mastery, where the task becomes an extension of you, where ego dissolves and time fades. Here, the results don't matter because you're so immersed in the process that the end is irrelevant. This is where the magic happens, when you're fully alive in the moment, unburdened by expectation, simply moving in sync with the rhythm of the universe. And yes, there will be walls, moments where energy fades and ideas dry up. Many turn back here, but not you. This is where the real work begins. When resistance shows up, don't force your way through it. Flow around it, with it, trusting that if you lose yourself in the process, the universe will bring you what you seek. Achieve everything, not by force, but by the quiet strength of being fully present, fully engaged, and willing to let the melody of life play out its own way. And here's the paradox: when you finally learn to stop needing the outcome, that's when you get it. You're no longer bound to the result because you're invested in the journey itself. The grind, the process, it becomes your reward. A testament to who you are becoming rather than just what you are achieving. The real transformation happens here. Not in the finish line, but in the steps you take along the way, in the rhythm you've embraced. Consider the mountain climber. It's not the summit that defines them, it's the patience, the precision of each foothold, the trust they place in the path, no matter how treacherous. In every small, deliberate move, they embody resilience, purpose, and alignment. The summit is simply where the journey leads, not the reason for the climb. When you live this way, your path stops being a struggle and becomes a flow. You stop clawing at the world and start allowing it to reveal the steps in front of you, each one as necessary as the last. True power is calm, unshaken, untethered from fear of what could be lost, because it knows there's nothing to force. And once you reach this space, you become dangerous not to others, but to the limitations you once imposed on yourself. You learn that the fears, the doubts, the need to control these were never strengths, but chains. They were illusions that kept you small, distracted, drowning in expectations that don't matter. The strong don't fear the weight, they welcome it. Knowing every moment has purpose, every challenge shapes them. When you grasp this truth, you stop running. You stop forcing and start moving with intention, with focus. You see through the illusion of urgency, recognizing that those who rush often leave their work half done. In this state of flow, you're no longer in a race against others or even against time. Instead, you are creating, growing, in ways you can't even measure. The journey itself becomes your growth, your strength, and the real prize. Because here's the real secret: once you start trusting the rhythm, the results come not always in the way you expected, but always in the way you needed. And as you embrace this truth, you become untouchable, immune to the frenzy and doubt that keep most people in a cycle of force and frustration. Your energy becomes effortless, your movement intentional, and your power undeniable. You stop chasing and instead start receiving, and in this surrender you've already won. So let go of the need to rush, the urge to wrestle results into existence. Trust the path, allow the process, and know that the universe will meet you where you are ready to be met. In this flow, you don't just achieve success, you embody it. You're no longer the seeker, you become the source, radiating strength and calm purpose. Because in the end, power doesn't come from forcing outcomes. It comes from becoming so aligned with the journey that the world has no choice but to bend in your favor. And as you move in this flow, you begin to see the subtle wisdom in every challenge, every delay. You no longer resist the slow pace of growth because you understand that mastery isn't something you race toward, it's something you grow into. Every obstacle becomes part of the process. Another step carving you into who you need to become. You realize that each delay isn't a barrier but a chance to refine, to sharpen your focus, to let the process sculpt you into something unbreakable. Most people spend their lives chasing, but those who understand flow know it's not about the chase, it's about becoming. The mountain doesn't chase the sky, it rises, inch by inch, unmoved by storms or seasons, knowing it will reach the peak in time. It's in that same spirit that you approach your goals, not with frantic energy, but with calm conviction. You recognize that true strength is measured not by the intensity of your pursuit, but by the depth of your presence. Each step becomes a moment of clarity, a commitment to the journey, a devotion to the vision without needing to force it into being. When you let go of forcing, you begin to feel a quiet confidence, a trust that's as deep as the roots of an ancient tree. It's the strength of knowing you don't have to manipulate the path ahead. Instead, you've become so in tune with it that the path begins to open up before you. The need to prove yourself fades, and in its place is something far greater, a conviction that you're exactly where you need to be, that each step will come at the right time, guided by something beyond mere effort. And when you finally get there, when the results arrive as naturally as the sunrise, you understand that they are not the pinnacle but the byproduct. They're the echo of every patient step, every moment of restraint, every ounce of discipline that kept you aligned with your purpose. What you've gained is more than success, it's unshakable presence, a mastery of self, a power that doesn't waver or weaken, because it isn't built on force. It's built on flow, on precision, on the timeless rhythm of patience and persistence. This is what few will understand, that real power comes not from controlling everything but from mastering yourself. You become someone who no longer reacts to the world but shapes it simply by existing within that rhythm, within that flow. You're no longer held back by impatience or doubt. You are led by a quiet, unbreakable certainty that the universe is already working in your favor. And in this state, results don't just come to you, they are drawn to you. Effortlessly. Because you're no longer chasing them. You are embodying them. So you move forward, each step lighter, each breath calmer, knowing that the journey has already given you more than any result could. This is the beauty of flow, where every action becomes meaningful, every step a part of something infinitely greater. In letting go, in releasing your grip, you find that you've gained everything you once sought, not because you forced it into your life, but because you grew into the person who was ready to receive it.